Auntie Jo here with Auntie Jo Sews. So today I'm going to show you how to make a junk journal cover using chipboard and a couple of items. I am working on a 3-signature Christmas junk journal. If you're following my videos, you may have seen a couple of these videos with these signatures in them. But I had some old books, and I usually just take the books, take the inside out and use those for pockets and journals and bookmarks and backs of things. And when I went to get it out, I would have to cut these signatures by about an inch, which would be a ½ inch on either side. And I didn't want to do that. It was going to be too tight. So I figured, well, let's see. I've never made a video tutorial for doing a chipboard junk journal cover, so why not do it? So here we go. And if you hear any chewing in the background, that would be Hoot, my dog, one of them, who is hopefully not trying to steal Corgan's bone. He's got a treat. He's got a bone behind me, a Nyla bone for his teeth, and he's chewing on that. So hopefully we don't hear it too much through the video, but if I don't give him a bone, then he decides to go harass the Corgan, and then she barks, and there you have it. So he likes to snag her treats whenever she's not looking, so it's like a game to him. To her, it's not. Okay, so let's get on to it. What you're going to need is a couple pieces of chipboard. It's going to be big enough to house your signatures. You'll need your cutting board, and I would recommend using a dull needle. I've been sewing all day. Lots and lots of toilet paper today. You'll need a dull blade in there because you don't want to ruin your new blades on the chipboard. A ruler, a pen, pair of scissors for when the chipboard doesn't cut smoothly. And I like to use this, which is the medical tape. It works really well for the spine. And I don't like using duct tape because I found that when I use duct tape, it just doesn't hold whatever I'm going to use. If I'm painting, decoupaging, it's okay. But if I'm painting or I haven't decided exactly what I'm doing and I wait and then use the duct tape and then decide I want to use something that duct tape won't allow to, be absorbed onto the duct tape to show it, then that's a bit of a problem for me. And now I'm limited to what options I would like to use. So that's why I use this. And actually for this one, my husband found me this design of a napkin. And I think that's what I'm going to use for the cover. And I believe he got these out the Salvation Army 2 or 3 days ago, and it's going to be great. And I'll actually come back and show you how to do the decoupage on the cover. So I will get everything set up and be right back. Okie dokie. So it's time to cut the chipboard. How I like to do it is I've got it here. I'm going to leave it right, whoops, let me get in the camera here, right about there so you can see I have some room. Is where the signature is going to line up for the cover. And then just going to do one cut. We're going to measure just a hair above where we want the signature to be. So, and I like to leave about a ½ inch on either side because I feel like I can always go back and cut it. And if I have a problem later, I'd rather have something that I need to take off than I've got to put on because we know that's not happening. So there we go. There's our marks. So again, it's just about a ½ inch. I eyeballed it a little bit, but I know I've got about a ½ inch down here and I've got a ½ inch up here. So we're going to take it and cut it. And I'll just show you this super quick. I am going to use the spine. I'm going to use a piece of chipboard that I had from another project, so that will be the spine that's right here. And then I'll cut this just to show you how to flip it over and cut it, and then I will actually cut the pieces that I need to cut and then come back and show you the rest. So I make sure that my little line that's in the middle is a hair to the inside of the project. So, and I just take it, remember using your dull blade, take it down one end, flip it over like this so it kind of easier to find your thing here. And there we go. And that pops right off. You can see I had another project here I was going to do and decided, I want to do something different. And then I ended up using the book. And now I'm back to using the chipboard. So here we are. So here we go. Now we see that this is the perfect size for the first part of the book. And we're going to leave again another 1/2 inch or so. I'm going to take our pen. Now this can get a little hairy, I'm not going to lie. So you got about a 1/2 inch here. Yep, just about a 1/2 inch. And then on this side, because I'm not super sure what I'm doing, I like to have, like I said, a little more room. So I'm going to do it just like this. Cut that. I'm going to cut both sides. I'm going to have my spine ready and come back. A quick tip here for making your next other side for the either the front or back, whichever you want to call it. All you have to do is take your first piece that worked out really well. It's going to fit fabulously well. You're just going to take your pen again and do a quick boom and boom. Now remember, I already have a spine from a previous project. So if you don't already have a spine, you may indeed want just to come to the side and cut it that way and then the other way. So, but we'll see. I'll be back. Okie dokie. So we're all cut and ready to go. How I did the measurement for the spine was the same height as the rest of the cover. So that's pretty easy. And then I just took, again, I'm not a big measure. I actually hate measuring. So I just took my 3 signatures. I lined them up like so to make sure that they would all fit nicely in the signature. And they do. I'll pick it up and show you this way too. So I had them like that. And you can see that the signature covers them pretty well and spaced out nicely. And I still will have a little bit of room on either side. See, I'll squeeze this in so you can see. So you can see either side how they will sew in pretty nicely. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave just about, it's actually a 1/4 inch. I do know that is what I usually leave. And I'm going to take my medical tape here, pull it out, and just like that. That's all I need to do. And you got your scissors. I'm going to cut it here. And we're going to go the other way. And the good thing about this and why I don't wrap it around right away is because if I've messed up, it's not lined up correctly, things don't look good, I can just pop it right back off and put it back into place, just like I'm going to have to do here because I didn't line it up right. I missed the whole dang thing. So here we go. And there we are. Now I think I could probably just flip it over, look at it this way and say, hey, are we lined up well or what? And if you wanted to be more accurate than I am, you could take your ruler and just run it down. Keep, if you don't mess it up like me, keep one on the 17. I'm using the 17 and I can see that it's lined up pretty good so far. And then I'll go back up because I think maybe it might be a little wider down here. It is, it's just a hair wider. So I can hold down the tape like that. Just move it over a hair and now it's going to be fine. There we go. This side looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to cut this extra off. There. This I'm going to fold over like that, like that, like that. And again, I really like using this tape. It works good for file folders too. When I make stuff, you know, I'll take like a file folder and turn it into like a journal insert or something. This medical tape is really good because some of the stuff that you're going to be using is going to be basically opened and closed a lot if you get someone who really likes to journal a whole lot. And you want to make sure it's not going to tear or, you know, not be good for them to use in the future. You don't want them to have to get something and you've, you know, given them a book if it's a gift, or you've sold them a book if it's for your store, and it doesn't hold together. That's not good customer retention tactics there. So you want to make sure that everything is going to work as smoothly as possible. So, and again, I'm just trying to line the center first, then just slightly to the left and slightly to the right of where I have the original. And again, this doesn't matter how much you put on here. Because whatever you're going to cover it up with, and I haven't decided yet how I'm going to do it. I'll probably just use a white cardstock to hold it together. So there you go. Not the prettiest daggone spine ever, but it's going to have so much flexibility and you're not going to have to worry about it. And here you go. You can tell that you're lined up correctly. Just pull your two ends up. Boom. There you go. You could take your 3 signatures, my 3 signatures, pop them in here, and see that, yep, they're going to be just fine. And again, you have a little more. I have a little more extra here that I could cut off later. Don't know how I'm going to do it. I might just line it up just like this and say, okay, we're not going to be there. And I like to have extra over the side anyway, because I like to add a lot of stuff to the journals. My journals tend to get really, really fat. And then I have to use like stuff to close them, and I got to wrap them with ribbon and stuff. I mean, it's great for the person that's buying one of my journals, but when I get a little crazy, I got to have enough room for them. So anyway, so here it is, all done. And then I will come back and show you how I put on the paper, just to give it a nice base coat, because something for you to put a base coat on, because you don't want to put your like this will be me. Let me grab this here without tearing it, Joe. Come on. The crocodile's in the way. See, I would never just put this on here for one thing. As soon as, I mean, I guess you could, I would not. I like to put a nice solid color base on first, and I will be back and show you how I do that. Okay, so we're ready to do the cover, and all I use is a longer sheet of sort of heavy. It's not super heavyweight. I want to say it's 60-pound weight paper. That is 17 inches. 17 inches in one direction and 12 inches in the other direction. So it's 12 by 17. And I just use, basically it's a light gray paper. I line it, if you can see here, like that. And then I just take my tacky glue. I used to use decoupage and wait forever. I've tried the liquid Elmer's glue. I have tried it all. And I basically, my preferred method is just tacky glue. I just do this. And then I get my little, it's not rubber, it's actually like a sponge. I'll show you here in a second. Where's Mr. Sponge? Here's Mr. Sponge. This one. And just hold it in place. And I got to do it quick because this stuff dries pretty dang quickly. But I have found it is best for getting these to stick and not come off. The decoupage, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not super good at doing it. It's entirely possible that I'm just awful at it. And there you go. So there we go. I got it covered pretty quickly. That was not speeded up film. Oh, there we go. And I just rub it really good. It's really good like that. Okay. And for me, it really doesn't matter if it's lined up really well, because all this is not going to be seen anyway. But if you're going to be using whatever sheet you would want, you could certainly make sure it's lined up really well. You can use decoupage. You can use Elmer's glue. Different kinds of glues you can use. I've just found that I like that the best. And if you got anything stuck up, I just do a little glue in here in the corner. And I won't have to worry about it coming up. And it's stuck down pretty well, and I don't have to wait 2 hours for Mod Podge. So we got this here. Then we're going to take our scissors and just make it easy to fold. I mean, you can draw a line if you want. It would just be a little line here. I don't know where my pen is. Goodness. You can just draw a little line here if you want. And you're just basically going to cut your corners like that. You can eyeball it if you'd like. There are little pieces of, I don't know, this little metal thing you can get and put it on the corner and draw a line. I don't normally use that. And you're just going to fold up the edges like that. And then you're going to fold up the edges like that. All the way around. There we go. And then like this. Okay, then I like to take the bone folder before I start gluing it and just rub it down real well. Just this bone folder is one of the pieces I use the absolute most. Really gives you nice creases, keeps everything all together and flat. And there we go. And again, it doesn't matter what the inside is going to look like because you're going to be covering that up anyway, at least I am. So then I'm going to take my glue again. And if I can get it to come out, just right here. I'll do those two first because I do want to push them down and make sure that they stick really well. And the bone folder really helps to press that glue, get it where it needs to be so you don't have anything coming up on you. So I would only do one side at a time, maybe two sides at a time if you're new. Then come in, do your other side, make sure you get the glue all the way through and in close to the edge of the chipboard. Scrape a little there, and then because we've already flattened it out prior to this, it should just be super smooth. Anything extra you could certainly put over there. You know, you want to have more glue than not enough, because if you do have extra, it's going to come out and it'll be fine. And I do like the tacky glue. It does give you, unlike, I used to use the double-sided tape and then quickly figured out I'm not real good with the glue gun or the tape gun, and it would fall apart on me, and I ended up just using rolls of it, and it just didn't end well. So I ended up doing most of the stuff that I do with the tacky glue. Then the extra glue you get, you just move over here maybe. If we could just scoot that in there. And then you could always come back and, like I said, just shoot it down and fill up any areas that you missed or didn't get totally flat. And you come back and just let this dry. You do want to go down here. Now, if you had paper or some fabric, you wouldn't really have to do it this way. I have medical tape here, so I don't really need to do a whole lot of anything other than just fold it. And we still look good here. Looks really good. So if you wanted to, I mean, if you wanted to, you could just use this as the cover. Then you'd come inside, do the same thing. You'd cover the inside, give yourself some room here. There you go. But I'll be back to do the inside in just a second. Okay, so I've started gluing in the piece that covers the spine. And I've got it glued on one side. I'm going to glue it on the other side here, like quickly. And see, be right back. Good, I'm holding it into place here. Hang on 1 second, because I completely forgot to, yeah, there we go. I'm trying to find the glue. My other thing ran out, so here we go. Completely, I forgot to do that. So there we go. That's glued down, and then we're going to take our bone folder again and find our little area. There we go. And we're going to find it here. Let's see where it is. Right there. And we're going to put that in. Make sure you find the right area, unlike me. There we go. And for what I'm doing, it doesn't really matter because I am going to be covering this with the napkin. Now that isn't staying down too well, so I'm going to have to put a little more glue in there. All right, like that. And then put it down like that. And let it dry. Remember, this isn't Mod Podge, so this will dry pretty quickly. Like there. Keep it in so it's still open. I wonder if we're going to be Mr. Difficult Pants here. Maybe. We shall see. Then I'm going to glue this side down. Got a new bottle of glue here in a second. And I dropped my little doohickey thing, my little bone folder. Okay, here we go. Glue that down. Then I'm going to take my sides that I've pre-cut. There's one side. It really doesn't matter a whole lot because it's going to be covered up with the decoupage napkins that I'm using. But I just want to show you this so that you can see how it's completely covered and usable. And I mean, you could use the double-sided tape. I don't like using double-sided tape. I had a huge problem with the gun that I was using. Like, it just, it's probably operator error, truth be told. It's probably just me, but yeah, I hate it. And I got one off of eBay probably a year and a half ago, and yeah, it didn't work real well. And I don't know if it's me, but then I would see other people's videos and they too were doing the using the hand part of it and not, using your hands and not using the gun part. And I mean, it would literally just fall apart. And I was using good tape. It would fall out. It would get stuck where the little doohickey would be like spinning, but no tape was coming out. Oh my gosh, it was just terrible. So I finally thought, maybe I'll just use a tacky glue, and I've been using it ever since for just about everything that I possibly can. Okay, so here we go. There is our covered chipboard book. It'll fold up nicely. There we go. I did get some Christmas stuff on it. And I will come back tomorrow and show you how I'm going to decoupage it. Even if I wanted to, the signatures will go in. I could, if I was using a different type paper, I could just glue everything down really well and use that in stick pockets and start decorating. But I want to decoupage it with the napkins. I think it's going to be great. Or I might have a different one between now and then. I don't know. But anyway, that's my tutorial. Hopefully it will help you out a little bit. I'll put some directions down in the description for you. But we're getting closer to the journal getting done. So our signatures are ready. There we go. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please take a moment and do so.